You're a radical. I'm not missing this opportunity. Lillard's picture's right there. I did the play-by-play when Lillard played here, and nobody supported him or Kupp. I did the play-by-play both times Weber State played Cooper Kupp. Who's the greatest Big Sky player in history? I'm not missing this opportunity. Kevin Blanche. For sale, as I give myself away doing all the dirty work. So my grandsons, I never seen them so excited because they go to Weber State basketball and football games, and they know about Big Sky and they know about Kupp. I never seen them so thrilled. They were jumping around going crazy. So I changed this from 1 to 10 a long time ago. This jersey, I never bought it. Damian Lillard got no love when he played here. No love. Nobody talked. I did. I saw his game film when Randy recruited him. I'm like, I knew what he was. I'm like, oh, you landed him? He was all that. All that, then some. So I got cancers, in 2011, 2012. I did the play-by-play, so I had to listen to the games that season in the bone marrow transplant center. His best game was the bracket buster in there. They played Texas Arlington. They would have been like an 11th seed. And I'm like, you win that game. I was with my nurse. I sucked up walking like this. I weighed 119 pounds. I was full of AML leukemia. I bought my own ticket, and I had a press conference. I've been here since 77. Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. I stopped. Stevie in here next. I saw a lot of great things from 77, but radioactive, they were played here. So, I'm like, Damian Lillard's going to be the #1 pick in the NBA. But something happened on the way to that place. They would have went so deep in the tournament. They were all that. Randy Ray, to me, this is my book, published. Giving myself away, the free library. I live on donations. So he says, well, his cousin, he brought his cousin with him the next year. More talent than him, but he doesn't have the work ethic that Damian. I says, nobody has a work ethic, Damian Lillard. I mean, unbelievable. So they're going to play Jimmer. All we heard was Jimmer from even the Ogden media. Weber State guy in the bookstore didn't give him no love. They made these up after he became Rookie of the Year, got drafted. Buses, billboards. I was given this to do the play-by-play. I would never buy any slave-made stuff. It was given to me. And so, metaphorically, it matters. Where's your crown? So, from Hardhats to crowns, they're finally going to honor Mata because I've been all over them. They finally retired Kathy Miller. But back to Kupp. I did the play-by-play. When Weber State turned that around, that worst football program in the history of the country was going to get the death sentence. So corrupt, it was unbelievable. Kupp had 2 touchdowns in 2013 against Weber in the first 2 minutes of the game. Is he the greatest player in the history of Big Sky Athletics? Is it Lillard or is it Kupp? Willie Sojourner? What about Idaho? Hayes, he went to the Elite Eight. He was a local. So see, that's the beauty about this. Weber State football, they would never recruit the local players, ever. The Vigil boys are from here. I'm friends with Mark. He played at Idaho, quarterback. They wanted to play here. The Dyson boys, they're one of the coaches. They wanted to play. They wouldn't recruit local players. There's lots of locals that played in the NFL, but they didn't play at Weber State. They do now. Jonah Williams, Rams. Oh, nice. So, I knew that Jay had it turned around, the greatest turnaround in one of them in sports history. I did the play-by-play in that game in 2015 for KWCR. Weber dominated that game, shut them down. This is a team that averaged 527 with the Walter Payton Award winner, Kupp. They had him beat, but he scored 2 touchdowns, beat Weber 14-13. One of the greatest catches history. And he caught that ball over the top of? Teron Johnson. Greatest play in Buffalo Bills history? No doubt. The pick? Yeah, he played here. He played on the worst team and the best team. So I'm not missing this to get this. Nibbling on sponge cake. Watching the sun bake. Built in 77, the Purple Palace. After the game. So, Damian Lillard, no doubt in my mind, would have been the #1 pick in the NBA draft if they wouldn't have lost that game to Montana, because he would have shined in the NCAA tournament. They were ahead by 23 points at halftime and lost. I was doing the play. I'll never forget it. Anthony Johnson from Montana, their nemesis. It wasn't Cherry, it was Johnson. Who Cherry came out of the same AAU program as Lillard. Never missed a free throw, field goal. He was later interviewed right here and asked. He says, I had an out-of-body experience. My book, published. A Snowball's Chance in Hell. He plays on the Red Inferno. The two best teams in the NBA right now are the Suns and the Heat. They've been on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. Oh boy, Snow, Utah. This got to be one of the droughtest. All coincidence. 2011. That happened on March 10th, the exact moment the Fukushima disaster happened. The year before, the exact moment. It was March 10th here when the Fukushima. The water's curse, I call it. The nuclear, when GE merged with General Electric, built that palace. Yeah, that water's. Yup. Built the reactors at Fukushima, Japan, all over the world. What a book, what a story. Nibbling on sponge cake. I was telling the grandkids a story about Jerry Rice. I said, you know why he said he had such great hands? His dad was a bricklayer, and they didn't have any, they didn't have gear, whatever. He'd throw down the bricks and catch them with his hands. We were playing catch with the can the other day. Boy, those boys athletes. They're 2011ers. I'd never seen them so thrilled at the end of that game. I think they were going crazy because of him, because they're friends with Shaheed. And they're like, oh, he's going to be the guy in the NFL, They're big Sky kids. Like he is local. That's what turned this boat around. Jay Hill started recruiting local players, which this school didn't do it for decades and decades, and you wonder why they always lost. So, as far as football goes, there's a Lillard, there's a Kupp. Kupp won the Walter Payton Award. What was all that here? Get yourself that. Snow, Utah. What a journey from Hardhats to Crowns. They're finally gonna. I've been in their ear going crazy. They got Kathy. I grew up with Kathy. I'm friends with Kathy. 44, Devoto. They retired. She grew up right by Devoto's house too. Yeah, Devoto wrote 44. Yeah, he's from here. What about Fama K. Brody?